What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Go Wins. Today we're sitting down with Eden Bretzer, a Division I athlete from Edmonton, Alberta, who's now playing at Michigan State. We're getting her full recruitment journey and what life really looks like as a Division I athlete. Let's get straight into it. Make sure you subscribe and like for more content like this. So introduce yourself to everybody. Who are you? Where are you from? And what do you do?
Hi everyone, my name is Eden Bretzer. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I am a soccer player at Michigan State.
So growing up in Canada, tell us, what was your path to getting recruited to Division I schools in the USA?
My pathway to getting recruited to the US was definitely looking a little bit different, being from Canada and going through COVID and injuries and everything else. But I think there were three main contributors to me getting recruited to a D1 program. So one, I was able to be a part of the Alberta provincial team. I was cut the first year and then I made it the second year, which I believe I was 12 or 13, somewhere around there. And then from there I was able to make our regional Excel program and spend different trial weeks in the Whitecaps and also get a couple caps with the U17 Canadian national team before COVID. So I think that really helped with my development and getting kind of the initial notice from some coaches. From there, I was part of a club team called Inter, where my coach played professional soccer, and I think the importance of that club team was just to go to showcases and was noticed by US teams. I played a couple years up on that team, and so not only was I getting better competition from the teams around me just because they were older and faster, also because we put a big stress on going to showcases and different things to be looked at by scouts because a lot of my team wanted to play soccer in the US. So I think from there, going to those showcases and playing at home, my dad filmed almost all of my training sessions, all of my games. My dad filmed almost all of my games and anything in front of a coach or not in front of a coach that he could send to every coach in the US. I think he sent out all my recruitment emails when I was in high school and videoed all that so I didn't have to worry about it, and I'm definitely grateful for that. But then before I graduated high school was when COVID happened, and so I wasn't able to play soccer at home because everything was shut down. So I went to San Antonio, Texas, to play semi-pro down there for the summer with my sister. And I actually played there for 2 seasons where I was able to get a bunch of film from there and sign to my first Division I program in Fort Myers, Florida, which was called Florida Gulf Coast University.
You've already gone through the transfer process multiple times. What advice would you give somebody who's thinking about transferring?
Being in the transfer portal 3 times now, I would definitely tell a player thinking about transferring to do it. If you're not happy where you are, then you can always find something better. I would just definitely caution the player on when to do it. I think in my experience, I wanted a higher level than my first school. Even though I love the coaches and players, I wanted to seek out something different after my freshman year, but I knew I didn't have any film to go off of. So I was lucky enough to be able to stay another year, gain more experience and development, get on the field more, and then transfer out of my second year, having a better resume to attract coaches. Obviously, players don't always get that opportunity when going in the transfer portal, but I think if you do have the ability to grow the program you're still in, then definitely do that before looking to transfer. But I will always tell someone that if they're not happy where they are, you can find somewhere else that's better suited to you.
What is the biggest myth about D1 soccer?
To me, the biggest myth of D1 soccer is that you can only get recruited through ID camps. I think it's definitely important to go to ID camps to see what the level is, to kind of get exposed to a high level of college soccer, to learn the drills and maybe meet some of the coaches and get in that competitive environment if you haven't been in it before. But as someone that didn't grow up with money or grew up in a different country, not being able to really go to those ID camps that easily, I think you can get scouted in other ways. So I wouldn't let that deter you from trying to chase your dream of going to the States.
So what does a full D1 training week actually look like? Because some people have no idea what actually goes into it.
So a full week of training looks very different spring to fall to off season. So in season, we have training typically Monday to Saturday. We'll have one off day normally, 2 games a week, 2 to 3 weight sessions a week, and then film and recovery on top of that. So it's definitely very, very busy. But the practices are typically lighter leading up to the game and heavier at the beginning of the week. Compared to off season, you'll start at 8 hours where you'll have shorter practices, less running, more weight training, and then you'll go into 20 hours where your practices will be Monday to Friday normally, and you'll do longer practices, more running, and then weights 3 times a week, but no film. And then you'll have up to 6 spring games. So it's definitely busy in both seasons, but just busy in different ways.
So tell me, what does your individual training outside of team practice look like for you?
Individual training outside of the team environment definitely varies between seasons, but I would say in the fall and spring season while I'm with my team, you're not really doing as much extra training unless it's working on things like PKs, free kicks, or individual skills where you're not really adding any extra load on top of the stuff that you're already doing. Where I do most of my individual training is in the summer where I'm preparing for preseason at home. So I'll do Monday to Friday workouts where I lift 3 times a week, condition a few times a week, train with the team a couple times a week, and then play a game 1 to 2 times a week. So I know that sounds highly demanding, which it is to play college athletics, but I also think that I give myself that 5-day window so that I have a couple days to rest and recover every week so that I can last throughout the whole season.
As a Division One athlete, how do you manage your body, nutrition, and sleep at this level? And when did you start taking it seriously?
One thing I learned in college is to control the controllables, which I think definitely includes recovery, nutrition, and sleep. Sleep has always been a hard one for me. When I was younger, I always struggled to fall asleep, couldn't get a good sleep, but I knew that I always wanted to go to bed at a good time before a game. I know that gets kind of difficult in high school and college when you're constantly on the go and you feel like you don't have enough hours in the day to do anything, or you feel like your kind of only time to relax is at night, and so you stay up later just to get a moment to chill before bed. But I think it's definitely important to set a bedtime for yourself and go to bed at that same time every night, even if it's 10 or 11 p.m. if you go to bed later, just so you're getting the same amount of hours every night and that your body gets used to going to sleep at the same time. In terms of nutrition and other forms of recovery, I think I've always been kind of disciplined. My family has always drilled into my brain like the 80-20 rule, eat whole foods, eat healthy foods. I think my family's never really cared about calories or anything like that. We've always learned that food is fuel, and I think if you're a college athlete, you need to be eating, and you need to be eating the right things so that your body can fully recover.
If a 15-year-old came up to you right now and told you, I want to play college soccer, what's the first thing you would say to them?
If a 15-year-old came to me and told me that they wanted to play college soccer, I would definitely say to go for it. I think it's been some of the best experiences in my life, and even through adversity and challenges, it has taught me so much about myself as a player and as a person, and so I would definitely push them to do it. But I would also ask them a question of why they want to play college soccer and really make sure that they love it, because I think when you're going into something that's really consuming your life, you have to truly love it, and not just for little aspects of it, but for everything that it is. And you know, your friends become family, you're living with them, you're playing with them and living with them. You get so close to your coaches and you get a great overall experience and everything. But I also think you need to know why you love it to also kind of enjoy the challenges that college soccer brings as well.
As a Division One athlete, what are your goals beyond college? Where do you see this taking you?
It's crazy to say that this is my last college season, but My goals after college are to definitely continue playing soccer. I've always wanted to be a professional soccer player, and I've loved it through every adversity and challenge, and I'm kind of just excited to take that next step after the season. So that's my first goal. And then secondly, I would just love to stay in the sports world. I graduated with a media and journalism degree from UNC in ad PR, and I think it would be so cool to do social media with a sports team or take advantage of anything in the sports world.
What song is always in your pregame playlist?
That is always in my pregame playlist is Mood Swings by A Boogie with a Hoodie. I know there's another Mood Swings, I think by Future, I'm not sure, but it's not that one. It's A Boogie with a Hoodie, and I don't know why, but it's always been one of my favorite pregame songs. Besides that, probably anything Gunna or Drake. Thanks for watching.